Hitting the track for our last race of round number 4 here at ROK Sonoma. Briggs Senior, presented by Levanto Tires. It's been a few years since the Briggs class has been offered here at Sonoma. The heat races had some very good racing action. So once again, this is the Briggs 206 class, also known as LO206. They are on the Levanto compound tires here at ROK Sonoma. The champion of this class has an opportunity to win a VLR engine. There are also tickets for all the classes for future races. There's ROK Vegas tickets available. There's gear, there's hardware, there's all kinds of prizes here for the 3-race Triple Crown Series. Grab your tents, everyone. Grab the tents. It's getting windy. Grab them. Here come our drivers for their formation lap. Your pole sitter, Chase Hand. He will receive the green flag from his uncle, Phil Hand. His dad, Joey Hand, spins the wrenches. Off pole, Cade, God be here. Row 2, Dean Pitton, William Wallace. Row 3, Stephen Eisert, Gavin McCune. Row 4, Jason Maples, Giovanni Medina. And our drivers are coming down the straightaway. We have a green flag going into turn 1. Chase Hand is on the inside. A little bit of pushing, but that's normal. Is that Cade? Cade is going wide out in the dirt. He's going to lose his few spots. But we have Chase Hand out in the lead. So this is a 206cc 4-stroke class. Very popular in America as far as this racing platform. The racing tends to be very tight and close. As you can see, this is lap 1 in our Briggs Senior class. Chase Hand is out in the lead. And it looks like that might be Eisert, who's gone from 5th to 2nd. I'll know here in a moment when I can verify his cart number. Hand, Eisert, Winfrey, Pitton, God be here, Vasquez, Maples, Wallace, Medina, Romero. That is your top 10 running order here at the Briggs 206 class, brought to you by Levanto Tires. Your leader, Hand, is on a GFC chassis. Second place, Eisert, is on an Esprit chassis. So right here we have our race leaders, Hand and Eisert, going through tic-tac-toe. They're slowly pulling away from the field. From a racing standpoint, this is one of the more technical classes to race. They don't have a lot of power, so you don't have the advantage of dive bombing your component for a pass. Especially at a track like Sonoma, where you have a long straightaway and a couple of tight corners. The compromise is always the gearing for coming off a corner or the straightaway speed. But right now, Eisert is pushing Hand around the track. And Eisert is your fastest kart right now on track. We're going to keep an eye further back in the field on Winfrey, Pitton, and Vasquez. Pitton's further back, asking for a little bit of help. But on screen, we have our race leaders, Chase Hand and Steven Eisert. So we're going to pick up the battle for third here. So that's going to be Winfrey, Pinton, and Vasquez. It's always fun from a production standpoint to guess where the action is going to happen next. But right now, the racing action is for third between Winfrey, Pinton, and Vasquez. So off screen, we have our race leaders, Chase Hand and Steven Eisert. But on screen, we have the battle for third. Here comes Winfrey up the hill with Pinton behind him. You see Pinton asking for some help. Pinton wants a little bit of a nudge from Vasquez, who sits behind him in fifth. And we're going back to our race leaders here. So we have Chase Hand, Steven Eisert. And you can see their gap. Oh, looks like Pinton has gotten around. Pinton got around Winfrey. So Winfrey is now in fourth. Pinton is in third. And Vasquez is still in fifth. So somewhere further back in the field, we have a number of karts that are off. So not sure what's going on further back in the field. We have a number of yellows. Oh, there's a loose tire on the track. Very dangerous. There was a loose tire on the track. So it looks like our race official has the tire in his hand, but that was what all the waving yellows were for. Off screen, we have Chase Hand as your race leader, Steven Eisert in second.
Good job, Kevin. Good job.
That was a good, quick response from our crew out there on the track with the flags. Here comes Chase Hand, Steven Eisert exiting tic-tac-toe, coming up the hill. The next time by, they will have 13 laps to go. Last lap, Chase Hand was purple. So rounding out our top five, we have Chase Hand, Steven Eisert, Dean Pinton, Matthew Winfrey, David Vasquez. Further back, Colby Romero, Giovanni Medina, Cade Godby here, Jonathan Andresi, and their top 10 is rounded out by Jonathan Maples. We have a driver off in the infield entering into Kramer. Let's see, that was kart number 621. That was Giovanni Medina. Here's our race leaders, Chase Hand and Steven Eisert. So keep an eye on Eisert. When you see the guy pushing the leader around the track looking over their shoulders, you know they're looking to get aggressive. But right now, Eisert, it looks like he's just pushing Chase Hand further and further away from the pack. Right now, there's a 3-second gap between Eisert and Pinton. So the Briggs 206 class is brought to you by Levanto. Our other series sponsors include Blaze, both of our leaders are coming up the hill ducking. So you can see in the background there, here's our race leaders, Chase Hand and Steven Eisert. Hand is on the GFC product based out of Northern California. Eisert is based on the OTK, an Italian product. Both teams, we have GFC and SpeedSense, are NorCal based. Their tents were full this weekend here at ROK Sonoma. But both of these drivers have pulled away from the pack. There you go, you saw a glimpse of third, fourth, and fifth as the drivers were exiting tic-tac-toe. So both of these drivers, Chase Hand and Steven Eisert, just to give you a sense of speed, both of them are doing double duty this weekend. So in this class, in the 206 class, their lap time is a 102.23. That's for Chase Hand. Eisert's right on that mark with a 102.24. And earlier in the day in their VLR class, you didn't lose me, I just lost my lap times here for a second, but I was going to give you a comparison of the 102.23s of the Briggs versus the VLR senior class, which both of these drivers have been double duty all weekend long. In the main event for the VLR senior class, Chase ran a 54.552. So the two strokes are pacing about 8 seconds faster than the four strokes here at ROK Sonoma this weekend. Chase Hand is ducking as the lead kart. Let's see, we have Chase Hand, Steven Eisert, 1-2. And then further back, looks like we have Dean Pinton in third. And give me a moment here. I'm going to go back to live timing. That's Matthew Winfrey running in fourth, David Vasquez in fifth. Did we just lose Hand?
I saw the pass, but it just looked like they were going to pass each other again. There were two.
So as I was looking for lap times there, it looked like there was an attempt for the lead. So Eisert's kind of out there by himself. Give us a moment here while we try to pick up. So Chase Hand is back there in 14th. So it looks like Chase Hand is actually at the scales chase hand is off the track. I'm gonna have to go back and watch that one on the review on the ROK Sonoma YouTube channel to see exactly what happened there. So our race leader is going to be Steven Eisert, kart 639. Right here, this is the race for second between Dean Pinton and Matthew Winfrey. I apologize for the anticlimactic announcing. But now Eisert is way out in front by himself. He currently has a 2-second lead over second and third. There's going to be 5 laps to go. All right, second and third have just knocked a half a second off the leader's cushion. So let's see if Pinton and Winfrey will work together to catch Eisert. So there's 5 laps to go. On that last time around, they knocked off a half a second. I'm hoping for a race here because it just makes it more exciting. They're definitely closing the gap. They're working together to close the gap on your race leader, Steven Eisert. Eisert's running a great race. He's just by himself. And in these spec classes with not a lot of horsepower, 2 karts can be faster than the one. So keep an eye on 649 and 644 of Pinton and Winfrey. They're both ducking. It does not look like Winfrey's making any attempt to challenge for second. They knocked another 3/10 off the lap cushion off of Eisert. There's 4 laps to go. Neither of those drivers were faster on that last go-around, but collectively they were 3/10 quicker. So they didn't do a fast lap, but they were 3/10 quicker than our race leader, Steven Eisert. There's really not much Eisert can do until these karts catch up with him. There's a big tailwind here at Sonoma for this main event race. They're coming up the hill. There's going to be 3 laps to go. There's a major tailwind. So it looks like, let's see here, they knocked another 4/10 off. So they are easily closing the gap on Eisert. Now when I say they are easily closing the gap, I'm not saying it's going to be an easy pass, but they are closing the gap quickly on Eisert. Eisert has to hang on for 3 more laps, but these 2 karts working together are closing the gap, and Eisert's just kind of a sitting duck until they drop into the draft. Again, it's not going to be easy to pass Eisert, but they are catching him quite quickly. Coming up through tic-tac-toe, Pinton and Winfrey are going to have 2 laps to go on this next circuit around. This is the Briggs 206 class brought to you by Levanto. Last lap by 9/10. This time by 5/10. There's 2 laps to go. They are a half a second off the bumper of Steven Eisert. On that last lap, Matthew Winfrey went purple, so Matthew Winfrey is pushing Pinton into position to go battle for the lead. Pinton is going to be on the rear bumper of Steven Eisert as they go down a tic-tac-toe. Let's see how Winfrey plays this. Pinton's really in the hot seat right now. He's got to defend for third place, but also try to pass for the win. Does he make a pass here as they go up the hill? Looks to the inside. Does Steven Eisert give him room? Eisert gives him room. Here comes Winfrey. They're drag racing. Eisert's like, come on, man, push me around. They're hand gesturing each other. Winfrey's like, no, I'm taking second. At the end of the straightaway, it's Eisert that's able to maintain second. Pinton's in the lead. Winfrey's going, this is the last lap. We have no friends out here right now. So let's see. Pinton's looking over his shoulder. Eisert can be very aggressive when he needs to be. Pinton brings the drivers through the Mamo S's. They're going to go into Laguna. Again, this is the reverse national track. This is Briggs 206 Racing here at ROK Sonoma. Triple Crown race number 1. And Eisert goes to the inside over the curbs going into tic-tac-toe. That shuffles Pinton back to third. Winfrey is in second. This is going to be a battle around the last corner. Let's see how Pinton handles this. Eisert's going to get the win. Winfrey is in second. Pinton is in third. All of the drivers actually look pretty satisfied with that result. You kind of expected that was going to happen with 206 Racing. Eisert was a sitting duck out there with no help. Pinton and Winfrey reeled him in. They made the last 2 laps a good battle here for the 206 race here at ROK Sonoma. Eisert had a beautiful pass in tic-tac-toe going over the curbs. Winfrey was able to stay in second. Pinton just ran out of track time to try to make anything else happen. But that was a great way to wrap up main event action here at ROK Sonoma. That was round number 4 for the overall series championship. Oh, can you get? Can we zoom in on the pits from at the scales? That was a good way to wrap up the racing action here. Good job by Eisert. Not sure what happened with Chase Hand earlier in the race, but it was definitely the Eisert Hand show until midway through the race when Hand pulled off. Both of those drivers did double duty today, running VLR Senior and 206. So we're repositioning our cameras to grab the scales. Good job out there, flagman Phil Hand. Happy Father's Day. So we have Winfrey there, we have Pinton right there, we got Eisert actually third in place, but he was the winner on track. Fourth in line is David Vasquez. The handshake said it all. And Kramer, all 3 drivers were pretty satisfied with that race. Pinton and Winfrey did a great job chasing down Eisert. Unfortunately, Eisert was just a sitting duck with these Briggs engines. When you're by yourself with a lot of wind, 2 karts are always an advantage. So great job to Eisert to make it happen. And that's going to wrap up our first Triple Crown race here at ROK Sonoma. That was a Briggs senior class. It's also round number 4 of our 2023 Championship Series. Once we have tech cleared and official results, we will do the podium presentations. Callie will have some awards to announce, some updates to some prize packages, So exciting stuff happening here at ROK Sonoma for the Triple Crown event. And maybe real quickly we can try to figure out what happened to Chase Hand before we sign off. I'm going to kill the mic, but I'll be right back.